One of the most common discussion points that I've seen as of yet within the wider BattleBit community is around the medic class. It's easily the most played class in the game right now for one reason and one reason only. And no, it's not out of the kindness of everyone's hearts, as much as I would like to believe it is. Well, for some people it may be, but for a lot of people out there, it's because it's the only class in the game that can heal itself. And with that leads to a lot of questions about the class's place in the game as it's currently balanced. So, g'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we're going to take a deep dive into one burning question. Is the medic in BattleBit Remastered overpowered? Alright, so I'll admit here, that is a pretty loaded question there, because, you know, when over half of the player base is running around as a medic class, of which many are using it for, say, let's just say more offensive capabilities, and for actually going on insane back rages with it, then I think we can all admit there's a slight problem there. And it would appear that the majority of you are in agreement with that conclusion. At the time of writing this video, I took to my YouTube community section this week, where I asked, what is your opinion on the balance of the medic in BattleBit Remastered compared to other classes? From a pool of 6,000 votes, 11% believed that the class was overpowered and needed a nerf, 83% landed on the opinion that the class itself was fine, but the other classes needed some love to bring them up to speed with the combat medic, and 6% believed that the balance was perfect as it was. And sure, to play devil's advocate here for a second for those who voted in favor of the class being perfectly balanced as it was, having more people opt to play the medic proportionately to the rest of the population out there does mean that there's more opportunity for revives, more opportunity for healing as the game is currently balanced. That much is true, and it's healthy for the game. But, on the contrary, the ability to heal oneself in a game where no other class has the ability to do so, where there's this much chaos going on, well, you just can't give that up very easily, especially if you're a player who is relatively skilled and is looking to chain engagements while on a flank. With how many sources of damage there are in BattleBit Remastered and how fast the general time to kill is, if you win a 1v1 gunfight in this game, there's a very good chance that you're going to need to heal up to a certain extent between those gunfights. And well, should you not have the ability to do so on the class that you're playing, i.e. any class other than the medic, you are going to be at a downstream disadvantage for every other fight you get into going forward unless you find a medic. And if you're someone who's, say, on a sick flank, for example, disconnected from your team and also always showing up in combat so your teammates can't spawn on you, that's not a fun experience for anyone. It actually hampers you indefinitely for the rest of that respawn. So, of course, people are just going to choose the medic with the intent of not even playing as a medic, just as an assault who can actually heal themselves. And that, in my view, is a bit of a power creep for the medic class, if you will, and one that I feel could use some addressing. The only question is, how do you do so? I've heard some suggestions from members of the community in the past calling to nerf the medic in particular. One of the key suggestions that I've heard so far is to completely disallow the medic from healing itself, or limiting the medic to only being able to heal itself to approximately 70% HP, or within that ballpark of. Now, once again, I can really see the thought process behind this thinking, right? It's designed to further incentivize teamwork among the medics on a team, and make the medic a less of a jack-of-all-trades class that is really only used by solo flankers because they can't heal themselves. At least that's what I gather from such a suggestion, but I could be reading that entirely wrong. However, I don't necessarily agree with this line of thinking. While yes, it will stop the medic from being the solo healer class that it's been known to be by certain portions of the community, there would also be some pretty big negative impacts on the class in its role of being a frontline supporting class. Those being, even if you go with the reserved approach here and introduce a cap on letting the medic only heal itself to 70% HP, that's very likely, in my opinion, going to really hurt the class's ability to sustainably perform its role as a frontline healer in a game like BattleBit. BattleBit is chaotic in nature. Bullets are everywhere, as are grenades. You are going to be taking a lot of chip damage all of the time. And say you actually get beamed by someone in a firefight, basic time to kills in this game are already extremely fast, even if you're wearing something like medium armor. They can sit anywhere between 150 milliseconds to 350 milliseconds depending on the weapon. It's lightning quick as it is. Now imagine if you, as a medic, could only heal yourself to 70% HP. All it's going to take is slightly fewer rounds or a slightly further away grenade to kill you faster, and it's going to see you at a total disadvantage in any firefight after you take any initial damage. Which leads us right back to square one with the issue that we have with other classes in the game right now. And if anything, I don't really think we need to look at introducing a limitation on the medic class that not only further reduces the game's average time to kills, but I also don't think we really need to introduce a system, or a limitation if you will, that sees medics needing to rely on other medics just to stay at maximum efficiency. I'm concerned that that will just sort of result in medics, and I apologize for the lack of a better term here, circle jerking themselves, trying to keep everyone up to tip-top shape when they really should be focusing on the other classes that, as it currently stands, can't heal themselves at all. Losing the ability for a medic to self-sustain itself would really hurt their ability to delegate themselves into assisting teammates who could use the health and don't have a means of acquiring it themselves. So yeah, while again I can see the thinking behind that approach, I actually feel like the issues don't exactly sit with the medic class in isolation. I think it does its role well as it stands, and to nerf that role in particular would be the wrong step. I personally side with the 83% of you who believe that the other classes in the game need some love to compensate. Some, I would say, more than others. As the balance of the game currently stands, guys, I would like to posit that the medic class's ability to heal itself actually invalidates the presence of another particular class from the game entirely because of how powerful that healing utility is in that other class's ability to perform its role. Now, the engineer, the support, and the recon, in my view, typically feel this invalidation a little less harshly because they have some unique abilities of their own that make them feel like a presence on the battlefield without the ability to heal. RPGs and repair tools for the engineer, ammo crates and large-scale MGs for the support, and of course, long-range sniper rifles and just being an overall pest for the recon. These things help to give these classes the identity they need to somewhat counterbalance the medic and not being able to heal on their own. The Assault class, however, definitely feels like it loses a reason to exist when the medic exists in its current form. The medic has access to all of the same weapons that the Assault class has, and then some. It can take C4 to deal with vehicles as well. The only thing going for the Assault class is the reload speed, ADS speed, and weapon swap speed buffs, and the fact that it can take a grappling hook, which, don't get me wrong, all of which are very helpful in the right hands, but the Assault is designed to be the frontline class in the game. The class that is designed to stick it to enemy forces and be the line breaker and really push their way in. And the problem we have is that, again, after an engagement with the Assault class currently, if you take any amounts of damage, you are immediately on the back foot for every future engagement you take. You're forced to play a lot more passively and look to trap enemies rather than be the aggressor that an Assault class would normally lead you to believe. It lacks the uptime to do its job as an Assault class properly, especially when you factor the numbers and the scale of BattleBit into the equation. And yeah, I know I'm talking about the Assault class in particular here, and this is a problem that sort of exists with all other classes in the game to some extent, but the Assault class and its perceived role just isn't possible without the ability to heal itself. So what's a potential solution here? And I want to really put an emphasis on potential in that sentence there because, well, I'm just an idiot with ideas on the internet here. I'm not going to sit here and posit that this solution that I'm going to suggest is the only or the right path to go down. But to me, it would be as simple as giving the Assault class a stim pen gadget of some kind. A gadget that would let you momentarily stop and heal your character back up to full health and get back into the fight afterwards. Now, to some of you, that may sound familiar, almost like a medkit from PlanetSide even. Rest assured, I don't want to see a one-to-one copy of the medkit's design from PlanetSide in BattleBit. In my view, with the way BattleBit plays, this potential stim pack, if you will, would take some time to pop or activate, maybe 1.5 seconds or so, through an animation. So no, to be clear, I don't want to necessarily see people doing ADHD zoomer movement to, soak their way through gunfire while using this stim pen. That's not the goal of it here. The perfect world scenario for me here is to give the Assault class a chance to get some health back in a moment of calculated downtime where they've gone, yep, I'm clear, I can safely heal now. It's similar to how the medic currently doesn't just instantly get all of their health back. It takes time to regenerate to full health while the medic bag is out in your hands. You're defenseless at this given point in time. This stim pen would give you your health back immediately, but it would take some time to activate and complete the application of the stim pen. As far as the placement in the loadout and the amount that you could carry was concerned, I would suggest giving the Assault class, say, 2 or 3 of these stim pens per respawn and having them in the same gear slot as their small ammo boxes, meaning that as an assault class, you would have to choose between playing a more supportive frontline ammo dealer role or a more aggressive self-sustaining unit, but you wouldn't be able to resupply yourself with ammo or your teammates with ammo. In my mind, this would certainly go a long way to bring the balance of the medic and the assault class in a little tighter. It creates a stronger delineation between their roles in game, while not necessarily taking anything away from either per se. There's still a sense of limitation and purpose there regardless. Now, I will say that I've also heard suggestions that all classes in the game should be able to receive a passive, albeit delayed, slow heal over time, like a regeneration heal that you would see in other games, but it takes a while to kick in. Something that, say, for example, kicks in after 30 seconds of no damage taken. So a medic would still be required to get you back into the fight faster, but it would allow you to at least get yourself back into the fight in the absence of one, which it can happen. That's something that I also believe is worth entertaining in the long run. In saying that though, I didn't really consider that as part of the scope of this video until pretty late on in the script writing process. And I haven't really taken a moment to fully grasp what the implications of something like that in BattleBit would look like. Whereas today's video was more about looking at the meta class balance and how it may be overarching on some of the other classes in the game currently. But that is certainly a conversation that we can have in a future video. Let me know down below if that's something you would like to see. Speaking of guys, given that we are coming to the end of today's video, let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on the medic class as it currently stands. Do you like my suggestions that we put in today's video, or do you think I'm well off the mark? Let me know. Also, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the gameplay and the discussion overall. It goes a long way. And if you're someone who's new to the channel and you're enjoying the BattleBit Remastered coverage, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, guys, as it also goes a long way to supporting the channel and it keeps you up to date with whenever we release a brand new video. And as always, check out our social media links down below as well, guys. We've been having a lot of fun on Twitch lately, streaming a lot of BattleBit, and of course, we're running Twitch drops for the duration of the campaign as well. So if you're keen to get some Twitch camos, come stop by the stream. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.